Alright, this is problem number 3. It says solve 2/3 times the absolute value of 1/2 x minus 3 equals 11. So let me rewrite the problem. We have 2/3 times the absolute value of 1/2 x minus 3 equals 11. We know our first step is to isolate the absolute value. So we need to isolate and get the absolute value by itself on the left side. So the first thing we want to do is move this -3 over to the right side. So we have 2/3 times 1/2 x minus 3. If we add 3 to both sides, the 3's will cancel and 11 plus 3 will equal 14. Now the next step, we need to get rid of that 2/3. So we can either divide both sides by 2/3 or we can times by the reciprocal 3/2 on both sides. And after doing so, we're left with just the absolute value on the left, 1/2 x minus 3 equals 14 times 3/2. If you plug that into your calculator or do the algebra, that will equal 21. And now we've isolated the absolute value, so we can set up our two equations. So step 2, set up two equations. Our first equation, we drop the absolute value, we're left with 1/2 x minus 3 equals 21, or we know that that could equal -21 as well. And now we're just solving for x for both of these equations. So for the first equation, we'll add 3 to both sides, and we're left with 1/2 x equals 24. And again, you can divide both sides by 1/2, or you can times both sides by 2/1. And 2/1 times 1/2 is 1, so we're just left with x equals 24 times 2 is 48. So x equals 48. Now we can solve our second equation. Let's add 3 to both sides to get rid of that -3. So we have 1/2 x equals -18. And again, let's times both sides by 2/1. So 2 times 1/2 is 1, so we're left with x equals -36. So x equals -36 and x equals 48. So our first option A is our correct answer.